Buddy, good to see you. Just adjusting some things here. I don't usually stream horizontally, so I'm just kind of checking it out here. Welcome. welcome. Like, where's the camera? Welcome to Live with Love. And I actually wasn't sure that I was going to get on today, but I thought, you know what? I'm going to get on and just see if there's some people that want to do a little breath work. Currently, I'm going to pick a card because I feel like today feels like a funky day, and it might be nice to pull a card and get a little direction if you feel like you're not having direction like me today. I have directions that I'm going. And this happens sometimes in life, right? We have directions that are obligations, right? Chores, to-do lists, things that we need to take care of in a day, but then we have like what our heart really wants to connect with and what our heart really wants to do. Like today is like an amazing, let me turn off my car. Whoop, sorry. Camera blooper. So yeah, that's like one of those days. Today is a marvelous day. It is so beautiful here, and it's been so cold here the last week that I really just like want to go on a trail and connect with nature, right? And I may still do that. I'm going to start kind of, ever write down a list? Really only 5 things on that list get done. So maybe going for an hour hike while the weather is still warm is on that list. Or just kind of taking a walk around the block, whatever you have available to you, right? But a chance to connect to the sun, the air, the ground. And if you're near water, make that available for yourself. So I'm going to pick a card, and we're just going to kind of see who shows up today on the live. And like I said, this is going to be a quick live. Some of them last about an hour because I'm breathing with people and a message is coming through. And that's one thing I haven't tried, actually. That's what's kind of coming in, is choose a card and then see what message comes through here, not just through the cards. All right, that's different. So the card deck I chose is this one. It's got the phoenix on it. This one's been coming up lately. I think it's been coming up. Ooh, look at those beautiful rays of light. That's great. The phoenix has been coming up. I've just completed a death code. Or check it out. Look her up. She channels Archangel Raphael, and there may be something there for you. So still possibly a great avenue for you to check out. And I have no affiliation with the people that I mentioned, but I do say that when you show up here live or on the replay, do pay attention to some of the things I mentioned. Sometimes I will have a link below. Sometimes if there's a word I say, there may be significance in it for you. So don't take it as just words. Even when you feel like I'm jibber jabbering, there's something that's coming through for you. And if you're here at this time, then there is something here for you. So here we go. I'm going to choose a card and see what comes up today. Before I do, let me just kind of prepare the space a little bit. Sometimes I do that through a little bit of light language dance. Sometimes it's frequency in the background. Right now, I'm just going to set the intention that we call upon the highest ascended guides that are working with us now, and that we receive exactly the right message that is needed for this collective showing up here, live or on the replay, at this time, and exactly the right amount of energies or calibrations, or even if there is an adjustment in vibration needed at this time, that we bring that forth during this transmission. Thank you. All right. Breathe. Yeah, let's take another breath. Ready? And release. Take a breath in. And release. So what message? What message wants to come in at this time? Here we go. I feel like this deck is rather thin. Like, are these all the cards that are in the deck? I know there's probably one card that's not. But the intention is always that what is needed in that now moment is what is received in that now moment. So let's see what comes through for those here. Now at this time, what do we need to know? What can we bring forth? Two cards came out. Doorways and Eagle. Wow. All right, so here's doorways. Recently, I went through a death portal in this class. It's more, when we say death, we don't necessarily mean the physical, although that can happen. We also speak of entryways. There are doorways that are opening, that are accessible to all. Breathe in. We are currently within a doorway, an entryway, if you will, beginning, an ending and beginning. There are doors that are closing at this time. And this is not just in your personal world. This is also occurring in the vast world. There are doors closing, there are systems shutting down, there are control systems that are no longer able to be sustained. To the human, this can look chaotic. But we ask that you pay attention to your world, your internal world. Notice and do not judge when there is a door closing in your life. When, the saying, when one door closes, another one opens. When one door closes, another one opens. You are creating space for the new that is ready to come in. Some of you may be ready for this, and it is a long time coming. Some of you may have resistance to closing some doors. out of fear or attachment or comfort. Notice and ready yourselves for the doors that you have a sense are opening for you, or you have a sense that are closing for you. You have an inner guidance that gives you a bit of a heads up. Some of you call this your gut feeling. Oftentimes the phrase, follow your gut feeling. Sometimes this can be confusing because you can also feel fear in your gut. And it is merely the mind coming into play and producing fear of what ifs or unanswered questions. Or how can we move forward when we don't know ... Know that you are safe. It is safe to be or want something different than you've had. It is safe to move out of a comfortability as something that you're used to and move in a different direction. How will you know to move in your different direction? Before the fear comes in, possibly, there is a joy or a lightness in the heart, a desire of, ooh, that sounds exciting. That is a clue. Remember that if the mind comes in with a how will that happen, or where will the funds come from? Faith, rather trust in that feeling, that initial feeling of, wow, oh yeah, that would be amazing. And do not limit yourselves in your wows. Be ready to step through the doors. And those of you with doors closing as well, know you have the courage to allow these to close, even if unexpected, and then ask, okay, that happened. Where do I go from here? And listen to your heart, breathe into your heart. What is next? What do I have? And just listen. The guidance will come. Trust in the divine being you are. Trust in the divine that is here with you always. Wow. Okay, so that is doorways. And what we have in this card is there are many doorways. And there are aspects of us. These are different aspects of us. And there are choices. These are all different timelines. We talked about this the other day, that you are a multidimensional being, and that there is a possibility of quantum leaping, switching timelines, of tapping into that highest version of yourself that already has everything that you're wanting, everything that you've been desiring, and have the external showing you different. There's a way to tap into that everything. And these are all the different timelines, different choices. And then we have this person who's a little more solid looking, choosing and going through the door. It's interesting. They all look a little like, I don't know, this door? Or do I go through this door? How many times do we feel that in life? Where there are these different choices, and some of them we don't even realize is a choice because it's something we don't want, and yet it's a choice. And oftentimes there are little things that happen in life that we ask, how is this, this just happened. This is for me. This is not happening to me. This is for me. And we see as time goes, right? Either that day or the next day or a week from now or a month from now, we're like, wow, that's how that happened for me. That person didn't want me, didn't want a roommate anymore, right? And now it like pushed me to decide to look into my own property, right? And like, what if I didn't rent anymore? What if I actually bought this time? What if, do I even want to live with people anymore, right? That's a question, that's a choice. And at the time we might be upset and frustrated, like someone pushes you out in some way. This is just an example, but you can use this with anything in life. And you're getting a push. Your external world may even say like, what are you doing here? I don't want you here anymore. And that's kind of it's a heads up, like, okay, maybe it's time to go. I've got all these different things like saying that this isn't the right space, right? Hello to all of you that are here real quick. I am horizontal today, so I'm not really sure how to check comments very well. It doesn't seem to be showing up really well. Give me 1 minute and let me see if there's an easier way for me to look at it. I really can't today. I'm sorry. Let's just say you're going to receive whatever you need to receive. And if you have any questions, the last couple videos, live videos that I did are up. And in there is an email. And if you want to put in a question for these lives, then, because I'm here at 11:11 Pacific time daily. So email me the question, kind of a general idea of what's going on in your life, and then I can address it on these lives. It's something kind of new that I'm doing besides just answering the questions in the comments. So that was the first card that came up. The doorways that are presenting themselves, the doorways that are closing, and the ones that are opening. What is that in your life? Think about the last couple days, a week, a month ago. Was there a door that closed and now you know why that door closed? You've seen the opportunity that it has let in by making space. And here is another card. I'm going to do the same thing because I haven't done this before. I'm going to look into the card, and without interpreting first, what we have here is the eagle. I'm going to show you the card, and then I'm going to see what comes through for this card. For those here or on the replay. Spread your wings. Reach to new heights. Many of you have been laying low, flying below the radar of life. You are being called for more. It is your time now. I get a sense of welcome. Not only welcome with open arms, those new scenarios that are coming into your world with the doors opening, but welcome. Welcome here. Welcome now. Be present in your nows. This one, when first addressing her nows, would pick a day, one day a week, where there was no plan. There was a person to be dropped off and picked up. And she did not allow herself to come up with a plan. This was her day. This was a day to see and experience miracles. Miracles are possible in your days when there is room for them to be seen, to be experienced. It was a day to wander and wonder. The wonderment came when the one obligation she would have that day was addressed. There came wonderment, a drive in the car. Not where am I going, but where is my vehicle taking me? And this is not just being spoken of the vehicle in which you travel on a daily basis that rolls from place to place. This is also you. You are the vehicle. You have an inner guidance system, an inner being, an inner map that, when allowed, will nudge you in a direction. Your compass that will adjust. Go this way. Go that way. Oh, that person needs a ride. Pick them up. Where will you go? What will you talk of? You will see the synchronicities in your life. As you flow in that day from one thing to the next. As you see what conversations arise. These miracles are available to you. And this is you soaring like this eagle, seeing the world from a new way, a new perspective, a place where your now is not about a habit or a continued pattern. It is about a releasing and allowing for that particular day. Breathe in and breathe out. So when I look at this card, the rays of sunshine that were coming in just when I first got on live here are mimicked in this card. the light coming in. When we get out of our way, right? When we decide that we're going to give ourselves a day. And this isn't a day of like pampering, although those days are great. Those self-care days, like I'm going to go work out, I'm going to get a massage, I'm going to do something that brings me joy or get organized. Those days are great as well. But what we're tapping into here, and it's interesting that that came up because when they talked about the hitchhiker, like pick up the hitchhiker, seems like a weird thing to say, but what was happening when the message was coming through is, and this happens many a time, is that inner being that I'm connecting with through the heart, that beingness, that consciousness will utilize some of the knowledge that I already have. Other channelers have explained this to me as well. A certain one that has a psychology background that says that when she channels, those through will actually utilize some of the terminology she knows. So in my case, yes. So I had this one experience where it was pretty prominent because I dropped somebody off and then I started to drive back, but on the way to dropping the person off, I noted that there was this person along the side of the road walking with like a big garbage bag, right? And I was like, wonder what that person's doing. It was a curiosity. And a lot of the time what it takes is just that, a curiosity about something in life. For me anyway, most of my messages come through generally when they're one-on-one sessions through curiosity, or when people ask questions here on the live, which I can't answer now if you're here, just FYI, because I am horizontal today. Sometimes I'm askew, sometimes I'm vertical, and today I'm horizontal. So, yes, that particular, as I was driving back, I was on my own and I was like, you know what? There are plenty of times that I've been traveling or something occurred and I needed a ride. So I'm going to stop, ask that person if they want a ride. And I did. And I said, where are you going? And they said, Evergreen. And I felt into it. And I was like, okay, great, let's go. And they're like, oh, you're going to Evergreen. And I said, yes. Not because I had a pre-plan to be in Evergreen, Colorado, which, by the way, was only like a 30-minute drive from where I was. But there was no plan. It was like operating in the absence of mind, although not in the absence of discernment. You know, I felt into the person themselves. Like I can feel things when I'm around people. And I felt that this was safe for me to take this person to where they need to go. I do that in many different scenarios. Is it safe for me to hang out with this person, address this person, help out this person? And actually, totally clean person. They weren't actually homeless. What was interesting was I took them on a ride, and as they came in, I was listening to a podcast by Lori Lodd at the time, and she was talking about mindfulness and all this. And as soon as the person came in, I like got myself situated, and then I shut off the podcast. And we started speaking with each other, you know, getting to know each other a little bit. And I was asking him about Evergreen, and I enjoy Evergreen and I like the hikes. And before I know it, there's some sort of connection there. He started talking in the same terminology about being on the spiritual path. And then galactics came into play, where we were talking about galactic energies and ships seen in the sky. is what I remember us speaking about. And it's a funny thing because, you see someone walking on the side of the road, especially not with a bag, but with a garbage bag, right? You can make all sorts of judgments about that person, criticisms about that person, or stories in your mind about the life of that person. And that person enjoys traveling in that way. He chooses to travel in that way. Not that I don't remember if he actually had a vehicle or didn't have a vehicle. I feel like it was a choice. And he would do this weekly, where he would hitchhike down the mountain and go where he needed to go. And then he would hitchhike back up to Evergreen. So it was just an interesting thing to see a different person's way of life and how many stories could be made on that person and who they actually were, right? Like this person had a house that I dropped him off at. It was a kind of a cool adventure. And after that occurred, and it was a day of like me almost being a helper, because I helped that person get a ride. And after that, I was like, you know what? I want some coffee. So I went to a coffee shop I knew in town, and then I ended up meeting two other people sitting at a couch, and the two people were talking, and I was kind of next to them. They were mostly talking, and then I came into the conversation, and we were talking about graphic design because I have a background in graphic design. So after we hung out, and we actually ended up sharing a little bit of food, like, hey, try this, hey, try that. One of them, something occurred with a roommate. Funny that's coming up because we just talked about like someone possibly saying, hey, you got to be out of here. That's what happened with this person. Was he was told that he had like a month to go or a certain period of time, and then he got a phone call that says, hey, all your stuff is out. It's all out it's just hanging out there outside. And there was snow at this time. And so I end up giving this guy a ride to his house, another random person I didn't know, and got him his ride. But when we arrived there, I waited just to make sure he was okay. And when we arrived there, he had a flat tire. So then I was helping him with the flat tire. Oh, not only the flat tire, but there was a flat tire and his car was like stuck in the snow as well. So he had a strap, and I actually pulled him out with my truck. So that is what happened that day. And then after all that, I paid attention, and just at the right timing, it was time for me to pick up that person I dropped off. And off I was to do that. And then, my evening and all that kind of went on. So you never know what's going to happen when you allow the universe to take the wheel, right? To take the wheel, to assist you in your direction, to have your inner map lead you where it's time to go. So since I can't look at the comments, and it's just not happening right now, I'm going to leave you guys with that. Welcome here to my lives at 11:11 Pacific time daily, and we will connect tomorrow. And just feel into those two cards. This will be available on the replay by tomorrow, maybe a little sooner because it's a shorter live. But these are the cards. Ooh, this is what's nice about being horizontal. I can actually show you both at the same time. So the doorways that are opening for you and the doorways that are closing, allow them. And the ability to spread your wings, to fly by the seat of your pants. That came up the other day. That's usually how I live, moment to moment, in your now, allowing your inner guidance to lead your way. Okay? So that was kind of fun and different. I'm so happy that you guys joined me today, and I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Tomorrow there'll probably be more breath work, It's always different every day. You never know what you're going to get. So it is a pleasure to have you here. As always, I am, we are one breath, one heart. Look for that magic. Create that magic by creating space today. I'll talk to you guys later.